All right, familia, we are covering a hot topic today, so I hope you are ready. Am I ready though? Clearly I'm not. Give me a second. All right, fam, today I want to talk about 10-ish questions that you need to ask before you hire a business coach. You are maybe a coach, or maybe you're a consultant, or maybe you perform a service for a particular group of people. And you know that in order to grow to a certain place in your business, you need the help of a business coach. Anyone who wants to grow in business should have a paid coach who helps them get to that place, not just a mentor, not just somebody you bounce ideas off of now and again, but a dedicated coach who can help you progress from where you are right now to where you want to be in your business. If my glasses have a glare, I'm sorry. These blue light glasses are glaring. Today, I want to take this time to make a comprehensive video that tells you about some of the things that you should be thinking of before you make the move to actually exchange money and hire a coach, because y'all know it's a lot of coaches out here, right? Not all of them are created equal. And that's why I rep mine, Jerisha Hawk, so hard, because she's legit in a sea of coaches who maybe are not at the top of their game, and some of them just frankly are just out here trying to get your money. Before we jump in, I want you to give me a hand raised emoji if you already have a business coach, and give me a hand crossed emoji if you are currently looking for a business coach or you're thinking about looking for one. Just so I know, what we working with here, okay? You are gonna hear 3 different categories of questions or topics in this video. So first, we're gonna talk about the things that you actually need to ask yourself before you hire a business coach. We're also going to talk about the things that you need to actually ask your business coach or your prospective business coach before you hire them. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the things that might make you not a good candidate for having a business coach. So do not hire a business coach if fill in the blank. Let's get started. Before you can even get to the point of narrowing down coaches that you're looking at, you have to understand what it is that you need. Think about it like a relationship. Before you go out looking for a partner to be in relationship with, you have to have an understanding of yourself, right? The things that you like, don't like, value, prioritize, etc. You have to have an understanding of yourself before you can go out and find someone who can complement you or support you. It's the same way with a business coach. You have to do some self-checking before you can go out and find a business coach. So these are the questions that I recommend you asking yourself before you initiate that process. No particular order, but let's start here. First, where are you in your business journey? There are various stages of business, right? There are people who think that they want to be in business but don't even have an idea of what they want to do in a business, like what product or service they want to offer. And there are people who are, at the 7-figure mark, 8-figure mark, and they're looking to expand even further beyond that. You have a wide spectrum of where you are in your personal business journey. So before you go out looking for a coach, you need to understand where you are in your journey, because for a person who is like pre-seed, in the idea, for a person who is not even in the idea phase yet, your needs are going to be a lot different than someone who is looking to, move from 6 figures in revenue to 7 figures in revenue. You have very different needs. And so there are probably going to be very different types of coaches that can help you in that journey. So first, you need to figure out where you are. The next thing you need to know or have some idea of is, what are you looking for a business coach to help you do? Why are you hiring a business coach? Growing your business, that is not a sufficient answer for this question. I want a business coach because I want to grow my business is not specific enough to inform the type of business coach you need to be securing. Growing your business means a lot of different things. That could mean figuring out an idea, figuring out your sales process. That could mean scaling from a one-to-one model to a group model, creating a different product. It might mean boosting your e-commerce sales, figuring out how to build a library of digital products, Growing your business means a whole lot of different things. How are you trying to grow your business right now? So you have to like drill down and get more specific about what your actual goal is before you can find a coach. Now, this is not necessarily an easy thing to do. The reason that it actually took me as long as it did to find a coach was because I knew that I needed help, but I could not verbalize the help that I needed. Like, I could not say to you, this is what I need from a business coach. I just didn't. It was like a you don't know what you know kind of thing. So I didn't know what I needed to know in order to say this is the help that I need. So if you are feeling that feeling, don't feel like, something is wrong with you, because that's completely normal. What I did was just listen to a lot of business coaches talk about the services they offer and what they do for their clients. And in listening to Jerisha, my business coach, on a podcast talk about the steps and the process that she helps walk her clients through, that spoke to me. That was the first time that I heard someone talk about their process and was like, that is exactly what I need. And so she was able to kind of fill in a gap that I couldn't even fill in for myself. And that's why I was so convicted that she was the right coach for me. And it turned out that she was. But for you, that might not be the case. There might be other people you may need to listen to, and that can help you figure out what it is that you need in your business. But I encourage you to not skip over this question, because you don't want to be in a situation where you spend a lot of money on somebody who cannot help you with your specific problem. It happens, and like if it happens to you, that's just part of the game. But if you can prevent that from happening, that would be ideal for both you and your wallet. Okay? Speaking of your wallet, the next question to ask yourself is, are you willing and prepared to invest? And I mean investment of money and of time. Business coaches are not free. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. Business coaches are in business, so they charge for their services. Your job as a recipient of those services is to exchange your time and your money so that you can receive that knowledge, that education, that expertise. Don't go out here looking for a coach and then you connect with them, you see how great their stuff is, and then you want to ask for a discount. That's disrespectful. Please do not do that. I know y'all wouldn't do that, but I'm gonna just say in case, don't do that. Know up front that you need to be prepared to make a significant investment, because they are going to be making a significant investment in you. So for me, those are like the three main questions that you want to be asking. But if you can think of any other questions that you should ask yourself before you start this process, definitely drop them in the comments so that other people can see. Now let's move on to the questions that you want to ask the prospective business coach before hiring them or beginning to work with them. 6 questions to ask before hiring a business coach. Number 1, what is their coaching process or program designed to help you do, and what framework do they use to help you do it? A framework is just like a structure that someone uses to teach you something in a more streamlined way. So instead of you being like all over the place, there's like a step-by-step process or framework that is used to help you get where you are. So for example, with Jerisha, my coach, hers is the POP method. She talks about it in podcasts and live videos all the time. She helps you pick one person, pick one problem, and then package your process. That's her POP method. That is kind of a description of the framework that she uses. And that's public knowledge, so I'm not like giving away anything of hers that is like a secret. That's her framework. She will help you package your expertise into a high ticket service and help you sell that high ticket service. That's what her program does. So you want to know for the business coach that you're looking at, what is their particular promise? What can they help you do? Does that align with what you need from a business coach? That was one of the questions that you should have asked yourself before, right? Does their promise align with what you need from a coach? And then what is the framework that they use to teach that? The reason knowing the framework is helpful is because, fire truck. The reason knowing the framework is helpful is because it gives you a sense of like what steps you will need to take in order to achieve the desired outcome. So for example, in Jerisha's program, live stream video is a huge component of it. Knowing that in advance is helpful, because if I'm someone who is like, by no means am I doing live videos, this is not the program for me. You know, I'm not going to go in that program and say, hey, Jerisha, I know this is your process and this is your framework, but I actually don't do live videos. So can you come up with something different for me? No, you need to know upfront what you're getting into so that you can mentally decide whether that is something that you can commit to or if you need to find another option. The next question is, what are the tangible and intangible outcomes? This was an excellent question that a friend of mine asked me about Jerisha's program. Like, she went, oh, our nugget is here. Our nugget. Okay. Sorry, I might show y'all in a second. But anyway, a friend of mine asked me about Jerisha Services That Sell program. What were the intangible and the tangible outcomes that I've noticed from working with her? That's an amazing question, because you need to know upfront, what are you going to get out of this? If you are prepared and willing to invest your time and your money, like we just talked about, then you're investing that time and that money with an expectation that you're going to get something out of it at the end. So you want to know, what is that stuff I'm going to get out of this at the end? The tangible benefits and the intangible benefits. So the tangible benefits might be something like an increase in prospective customers, or an increase in sales, or I figured out how to launch this next thing, or I figured out how to design this ebook. Those are like the tangible things that you can touch. An intangible benefit, something, for example, that I receive from Jerisha's coaching, is more clarity around what my service is, more confidence in speaking about my service and selling my service, more confidence in addressing objections or barriers that people may have to buying my service. Those are more intangible benefits that are more internal, mental, psychological, but that are equally as important as the tangible outcome. So you need to know what those things are in regards to any business coach that you are going to work with. A third question you want to know is, how do they deliver their services? So you may be someone who wants to work with a coach individually, one-on-one. You might be someone who prefers a small group setting. You might be someone who prefers a large group setting. Different coaches have different ways of working with their clients. Sometimes there are like meetings twice a week. Sometimes there's a meeting once a month, and the rest is more self-paced. Regardless of how that coach sets up their service or their program, you need to know what that setup is so that you can decide whether that is something you're comfortable with or whether you're looking for a different type of support. The last three questions are more, well, let me just tell you about them, and then you'll see what I'm trying to say. So the next question that I think you should ask is, do you trust this person? Do you trust their guidance and their expertise? Because what you don't want to do is get in a situation where you've paid this person to help you achieve a certain outcome, but you don't actually believe that they can help you get there. And so because you don't really internally believe that they can help you get there, you don't follow the path that they have laid out to help you get to that point. Because you think you know better. You think, oh yeah, I know they said this, but actually this other person who I'm not paying to do anything, or maybe I am paying them to do something, this other person said I should do this. So you're mixing and matching, you're doubting, you're not at least trying it out to see what might happen. Basically, you are sabotaging the relationship because you don't truly believe that this person can help you get from point A to point B, and you're trying to do it yourself. It happens. I'm not a business coach, but I know that it happens. But I just want to put this out there that is something you need to think about up front, because if you are investing your time and your money, you need to be doing it in someone who you truly believe can help you get from point A to point B. And if you don't really believe that they can help you do that, then you don't need to invest your time and your money with them, period. You need to find somewhere else to put that time and that money, because you're gonna waste it if you're investing it in a relationship that you don't truly believe in. The other thing you might want to know, I would want to know, is where did that coach start? Like, what is their story? What was their starting point? What is their current status? And how did they get from point A to point B? I find that having that background knowledge helps me relate to them more as a person. And I do think it is important in general, because like I said, if you don't trust the person, you're not going to fully trust the process that they're trying to take you through. and having an understanding that this person has been through this and they use this process to get from point A to point B for themselves. So I know that they can help me get from point A to point B. If you don't have that understanding, then that might take away from the level of trust that you have in them. So I'm not saying it's a requirement to know like their whole life story, but I am saying that it is important to know how they got to where they are. It's not just where did they start to get from point A to point B, but again, how did they get there? Did they get there in a way that you would feel comfortable getting there? Was their process in integrity and in alignment with a process that you could see for yourself? By the way, this is a tip and a question and a line of thinking that I've received from my business coach as she talks about being careful of who you follow, who you listen to, who you receive advice and mentorship from online. Because some people at face value, it looks like they achieved X, right? But the way that they achieved X is not necessarily like what you would be willing to do to achieve X. And what they did to achieve X may or may not be publicly known information. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. But my point is, you wanna be finding out like where that person started and to get to where they are, and then how they got from where they started to where they are. All right, so before we wrap, okay, there are some signs, some indicators that you yourself might not be ready to work with a business coach. I'm gonna run down this list. If any of these is relatable to you, I encourage you to do some more deep diving internally to figure out whether hiring a business coach is something that you are ready for in this current phase of your business. So 3 things. 1, if you are looking for a quick fix, you should not hire a business coach. A business coach is not responsible for doing anything for your business. They're not responsible for that. They are responsible for providing you with a framework, some knowledge, some expertise that you can use and apply to your own business in order to achieve a desired outcome. Hiring a business coach is not going to fix your business. Hiring a business coach is not the same as doing the work that is required to help you achieve the outcome that they are promising. Again, it is not your coach's responsibility to fix your business. That's not how it works. So if you are looking for a quick fix, hiring a business coach is not the right step for you because it's not going to be a quick fix. It's going to take work, which leads me to the second point, that if you are not in a position where you are ready to do the work, and you are not only ready to do the work, but you are willing and committed to doing the work, you should not hire a business coach. Otherwise, you are going to invest money, but you are not going to invest time. And you are not going to get the outcome that you need if you are not willing to invest the time that is required to do the work that is required to get you to your desired outcome. Think of business like math, right? In K through 12, we got a math lesson in school, but if you turned around and didn't go home and do that homework and practice, there was no guarantee that you were actually going to be able to apply that math and make a good grade on your test because you didn't practice it, you didn't implement it, you didn't do anything with it. You just got the knowledge, but then you didn't do anything with it. So you're not going to get the desired outcome. Same way with the business coach. You can learn all the skills, all the frameworks, all the concepts that you want to, but if you don't go home and practice and implement, it's not going to have the desired impact for you. Third thing, you're not teachable. If you are not teachable, you don't need to hire a business coach, because you are probably in a position where you're going to think that you know better than the business coach, than the person that you have hired to help you with this endeavor. And if you think you know better than that person, then why are you hiring them? Because you're not going to trust the process that they're trying to lead you through, and you're going to sabotage that entire relationship. So if you are not teachable, if you are not open to hearing new concepts and then trusting them and trying them and seeing if they work, and then if they don't, then going back and tweaking them, if you are not committed to asking questions and taking advice, and again, trusting your coach, then you are not going to have success working with a coach. In fact, you're going to be quite a sucky client for that coach. Again, I'm not talking to y'all, to my fam, but I'm just saying if there's anyone out there who falls in these 3 categories, of looking for a quick fix, not being willing to do the work, and not being teachable. If you're out there, do not burden any business coach with your business right now. Wait until you get to a point where you are ready to make that investment of your time, of your money. I was planning on talking to y'all a little bit more about how I hired my business coach, Jerisha, and why and what that whole process was, but it feels like this video is getting a little long. So if that's something you're interested in hearing about, let me know in the comments and I can do a follow-up video to it. In the meantime, I will refer you to an interview that I did with her on this channel. She talked about selling high ticket services, what that means, how you address different barriers when it comes to like getting someone to pay you $1,000+ for your service and things like that. So if you want to listen to that interview, highly recommend it, by the way. I'm gonna link it up here somewhere or over here somewhere and you can check it out. Also, Jerisha is very active on Instagram, so you can follow her at Jerisha Hawk. And while you're at it, make sure you're following me at Multi-Passionate Meg, and I'll see y'all next time.